Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to the Aegis Rolldown podcast. Thanks so much for being here, guys. As you guys know, I am the real Honeybear. On the side of me, we got Lorence, and our special guest today, Keans. Doesn't matter about Keans. We'll get to him in a little bit. Don't even think he's down there. But welcome on in, everybody. If you guys have never been a part of this podcast before, this is podcast number 4, and we're going to talk about all things Aegis TFT. At some point we might dabble into, whatever else Aegis has got going on. We do some other pretty cool stuff, but
sometimes
really going to talk about Aegis TFT here and a variety of different topics with that, as well as meta, talking about, what is going on in the world of TFT right now. That's why one of the main reasons we brought on our special guest Keans, because he knows a heck of a lot more about the meta than we do, because we are hard stuck diamond, and Keans is the resident challenger player here. So,
and just drop me like that, aren't you?
Hey man, right now you're higher ranked than I am, so you're crushing it. Yeah, welcome in, guys. If you guys do have any questions throughout this podcast, make sure you drop them in the chat. We'll be pulling them throughout the podcast. You can ask us anything. You can ask us about Lawrence's mustache. We'll tell you it's hideous. You can ask about my mustache. We'll tell you it's glorious. You ask about any of those things. Ask TFT related questions. Anything specific for Keans that you want to ask, and we'll kind of be pulling them throughout and answer them right at the end. Of the entire podcast here. But without further ado, Lorence, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
What do I do?
I don't actually know.
Hey everyone, it's still me, Lorence. A couple of you have met me, and those of you have not. I am the TFT director here, and I try to have my hands in just about everything here that happens for TFT. However, I've been starting to kind of have a couple more people in more charge of their areas, such as Honeybear with AML. You start seeing him around a little more, and Yui with ACL. So that's getting a little disseminated out, but you'll still see me around. Glad to be back.
Big shout out to Yui too. She was crushing it today.
Yeah, on fire.
Absolutely. Well, as typical, that was pretty boring. But Keans,
thanks, Gramsy.
Keans, tell us about yourself, man. Who are you? What do you do? Give us a little bit.
I'm just your normal TFT player. The only reason I reached Challenger was for the clout. Not actually good at the game. I just I appreciate everyone looking up to me. I started playing in set 3.5 casually. 6.5, I started seriously because what happened was my friend, he bet me. He was like, "Oh, dude, I bet you can't make Challenger." I was like, "Okay, bet," and I made fucking
bet
1K LP.
Let's go.
Yeah. The bet was $100.
Myself into Dragon Cup. Whoa.
So that was the easiest $100 in my life. Yeah, I've been Challenger ever since 6.5. Yeah, that's pretty much, I guess.
For sure. Yeah. How long did it actually take you to hit Challenger? Just curiosity there.
Oh, in 6.5, I think it was 60 games.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But that's it. Wait, what rank did you start 6.5 then?
I think I was master set before, so I started at
D4 then.
Also, okay, this set as well, 7.5. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get Challenger in less than 50 games. But man, I fucking ran it down, dude. It's I was so upset. All my friends, they're in higher ranked than me. My first 10 placement games, I went 8-8-8-8, and I was so sad.
Got to start out somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, that feels rough. Yeah, and then last but not least, me. I'm the real Honeybear. I'm the Aegis Esports intern. I basically get shoved down in the basement. I am not allowed to leave. I haven't seen the light of day in months, if not years. I'm not sure how old I am.
We don't let them have clocks.
But sometimes they let me watch anime, which is nice as well. But I'm mostly in charge of making the coffee and keeping things flowing. This is actually not a background. That is 100% CGI. Lorence made it look like that, so it makes it look like this basement's kind of nice. Keeps it going there. Yeah, enough about me. Tell me about your week. Anybody have kind of exciting week? Anything going on?
For me, I seemed to have lost my way. I was climbing and I was just about to hit D1, and then I was like, actually, I'm going to try be flex at this game, like I always do, because I don't want to one trick all the way to master. And turns out I found my way back to D4, so that's cool.
Okay, so we learned the exact same thing we already know. Lorence isn't very good at this game. Keans, how's your week, man? Anything exciting going
on? Nothing too exciting, to be honest. I didn't play much TFT. I was like really busy with like work life and stuff. Then like once the patch came out, I was like super excited. I was like, all right, finally we're out of like 12.19. Like let's play something fresh, you know? Then it got even more stale. So I was like, oh shit. And I also ran it down. So yeah. In terms of TFT, not a great week. So like ACL this week, pretty good.
Kind of killed it this week.
For sure. And we were talking just before we went live here, and I realized I completely dropped the ball on what I said I was going to do for the 2 minutes that I had. But Keans, you're Canadian, right? That's not as many people know that. But somewhat of a hockey guy, and you got a hockey. Who are you wearing right now?
Oh, I'm wearing an old school Trevor Linden jersey. It's like signed as well on the back.
Oh, hockey.
Wait, I didn't actually. It's signed?
Yeah, it's signed.
That is phenomenal. So I was gonna go grab. I'm a Michigander. I was gonna grab my Red Wings jersey. I used to have one from my childhood. I think it's still up in my closet. But it's a Nick Lindstrom jersey. I do not fit in it anymore. That was like 120 pounds ago. I fit in it. Yeah, it's signed by Nick Lindstrom, which is pretty cool. And actually, if anybody knows, Yzerman, Shanahan all signed it as well. So it's a pretty cool thing. I actually loved hockey when I was growing up. And then Lorence, are you a hockey guy?
I do like me some Minnesota Wild. Last season was a little bit of a doozy though. I don't have anything on, unfortunately, right now for the Wild, but
yeah, we failed.
Whoops. Sorry. Oh,
and
sorry.
What kind of shirt? Are you wearing anything fun? What kind of shirt? You got a plain white tee?
Actually, yeah. You can see it. Got a my Momo jersey, as they say.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia.
Yo, that's actually hype because I'm actually wearing an anime shirt too. I'm wearing my Demon Slayer shirt.
Hey, let's go.
It's pretty funny.
Keans, where's yours?
Yeah, Keans, where's your anime shirt?
Oh, is that a hockey anime? It's a hockey anime.
I don't think they put like anime on designer clothing. So.
Wait, do they not?
They might actually.
Surely they have to at some point. I mean, anime's everywhere.
That is true.
I would think. Keans, what speaking of anime, sliding on into the anime train. What's your favorite anime all time?
Here we go again.
All time.
All time. Nothing is better than this. This is peak anime. What are you hitting?
All right, it's Code Geass and it's the dub version.
Wait, are you full dub?
No. Okay, there's like
Here we go
there's
again.
two animes.
Full dub. So
no. Okay, there's two animes that are like goated as dub, and the rest are like you have to watch sub.
Really?
Wait,
the other one is Death.
Ooh.
Death Note. Death Note. Okay.
Both of those are really good though.
Do you watch Death Note dub?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I watched that like 3 times.
Okay. Wait, Lorence, are you a sub guy or a dub guy?
I think I'd explained it a couple weeks ago where I get like just way too distracted. I'm like the whole time I'm trying to read and then I miss like the visuals on the screen. So I tend to, if I can, I try to watch it dubbed. But if there's something really good out like My Hero or like Spy Family, as I've mentioned previously, like I just want to watch it because it's just that good. So that's my choice.
I personally am a dubbed everything guy. I rarely watch subbed. I only watch subbed like if I'm super hyped for it. And I gotta watch it like right now I'm watching Spy Family subbed. I can't wait for the dub. I like it. I'm not gonna wait for the dub. But most everything I watch dubbed. It's dubbed because I gotta do other things. I'm working, like, you guys might not know this, but like right now we're doing the Aegis podcast, but like I did not catch up on Blue Lock, So I'm just watching Blue Lock on the side. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
You wish.
Wait,
We don't give you a TV.
I have done that before. Back in the streaming days, if I wasn't caught up on anime, I would just play whatever game I was playing and anime's on my other screen so that I can watch it and hear it, but nobody else has any idea what I'm actually doing. So
Wait, you're wearing Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Okay, the thing about Demon Slayer, people say it's like super goated. But like, I could
Watch
not
yourself.
finish it because that one blonde hair guy, he was so annoying in the sub, man. Like, I just could not watch.
Okay,
I was
you
like-
know what? I 100% give you that. Super annoying in the subs.
Wait,
Dubbed is infinitely better. You must watch dubbed. If you don't watch dubbed, you're missing out. Lawrence?
Oh, I just skipped it.
I mean, I actually like him. Sorry, I'm really bad with names with it. It's Tanjiro, right? Or is it
No.
somebody else?
No, that's the
I
main
was messing
character.
up. Yeah, main character. Okay. No, do I even watch anime?
Yeah, continue though. Continue.
No,
Tanjiro, sure.
I'm,
Yep.
I'm terrible. Yeah, no, Tanjiro is great.
It's
Yeah,
Nezuko.
Yeah,
Tanjiro?
Tanjiro.
Tanjiro, yeah, because it's
I'm
orange,
putting my
right?
Western
Tanjiro, it's
accent on
orange.
now.
Tangerine, yeah, same thing. Go ahead.
Anyways, no, I actually really like. Okay, well, now that I'm exposed, what's the name of the blonde-haired guy?
Just continue.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I have to say
It's
his name.
Zenitsu.
when I'm talking. Zenitsu. I actually really like his general arc. Personally, I don't think he's that annoying. I think that like him, like the way he ends up unlocking like his strength is really cool. Did you actually like that part at least about him? I know he is really annoying, but I actually ended up thinking that it made him like a better character at the end of the day.
I just didn't like how he was just whining. Like, he's like super OP. It's like he needs to like tap into it after he fucking finishes his wine. I was like, okay.
Yeah, we
Drop
won't
it
dive
again.
into too many spoilers. I think that slides into a spoiler rent for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Mhm.
But overall, Demon Slayer, phenomenal anime. Highly recommend it.
Animation is, and the
Top
OST.
tier.
Wait, what's top here?
The
The
animation.
animation and OST.
Oh, animation. Yeah.
Music.
Oh, and the soundtrack. Yes, I agree.
Holy. The intro,
Mhm.
dude, that is one of the intros you.
Yes.
I'm a big time not skipper of any of the outros or intros, unless it like blatantly sucks. Otherwise, I'm gonna listen to it every single time because it like really adds like a lot of immersion. For me, it like feels like okay, I'm starting up, I'm watching anime and stuff like that when I'm watching the intros.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of like skips in the chat. That's actually one of Keans' rivals. In the ACL. Keans, you do a little bit of coaching. It was a good transition, right? That was solid.
Bet.
Wasn't too bad. What could be worse?
But bringing it right back from anime. Also, if you do have any anime questions, please ask them in the chat so we can talk about them at the end. I think we could have a whole anime podcast here. But ask them so we can grab them and bring them into the chat afterwards. But you've been doing a lot of TFT. You've been making a little bit of money, possibly doing some coaching. Or maybe you do it all pro bono. Who knows? You're a nice guy. But tell me a little bit about that. How's the coaching been going? How did you get into it? And are you enjoying it?
Okay. Basically, what happened was, I ended up in this Discord server. I just wanted to play in houses, but all of a sudden, I was like one of the top players.
It's cutting
Leader
out.
of that server
Okay.
was like, oh, he was like, hey, dude, like you should coach here. Like, yeah, sure. That's basically it.
Now you're just stuck there.
Yeah, now I'm stuck. It's like, oh, I didn't even want to coach.
And so now that you're there, though, do you find satisfaction in the coaching, helping players, climb from whatever rank they are?
Yeah, actually, I get a lot of satisfaction. Like what you said, like really helped. Like when I see people apply stuff that I teach at this level, it's like super satisfying. Like the money is like whatever, right? But it's like seeing these people climb to like new heights and it's very nice.
Yeah,
I wish
for
I was
sure.
that good.
Yeah.
Maybe I can coach somebody to diamond.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not good enough to coach in TFT. But before I was locked in a basement as the intern. I was a strength and conditioning coach and personal trainer. So like coaching itself as an art form is actually pretty fun. I feel like you get a lot of satisfaction out of being able to coach somebody up to that next level, the next height. And no matter what it is, it's all the same, right? If you're coaching somebody in teamfight tactics at like, hey, I'm hard stuck gold, and they finally hit that plat or finally hit diamond, like that's really cool. That's really cool to see. But other than your coaching, Keans, what actually drives you to teamfight tactics? Like you're phenomenal at a strategy game. Why'd you pick teamfight tactics?
I mean, strategy games in general were like kind of games. Like I played Hearthstone back in the day. Also, I like used to play professional poker, which is like a lot of strategy involved. So like, I actually transitioned from like poker to TFT. Before I used to play like poker like so much. Then like TFT took over, and I was like, oh, shit's like fun too. And it's like okay,
gambling.
and it's like okay, the mental strain that like poker has like on you, like the amount of variance is like way higher. Well, actually, I wouldn't say it's like higher, but like the amount that you can take mentally can like really stress you out. So like TFT was kind of a good, chill, relaxed game where you can understand the variance and whatnot.
For sure.
Technically, you can play the odds.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Everything, like all your decisions, it's like you need to be making decisions based on like the highest expectation value.
Mm-hmm.
If I do this, like over a large sample size, like this is going to be the best. Sometimes it may not be like sometimes you'll get more dogged and like you'll go eighth, but like that decision overall give you a higher average placement.
I like that comparison of like the poker. I don't play much poker myself, but like I understand like the general concepts of it, of where like there like you have like, oh, this is likely the optimal play, but the way that you have that same sort of form of playing is like way more relevant or prevalent in TFT, and it like seems like it actually has a lot more intuition to it, or intuitiveness to it, where like you are making a lot more of a guided decision, whereas like with poker, my understanding of it is it's kind of just like these are the numbers, I don't really have much else to do with it, whereas here you have like a board you're building, like you're making something with these in like intuitions that you're using.
Oh yeah, it's more like, how would I say, adaptive.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it in one word.
For sure. Yeah, and I gotta quick bring this up. But we did just drop some frames, so I do apologize if anybody was out there and like it skipped just a little bit. But we should be all set now. There should be no more drop frames. But having said that, Lorence, you are fully in charge of gathering or grabbing any questions, because I shut everything down on my computer. That's not relevant. So you are fully in charge. Do you think you can handle it?
People salute. I got it.
Yeah, you are 100% in charge of that, because I don't have the stream open. It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone. So if you guys want to say all of the mean things to me, feel free. It's now you're good to go. I can't see them, so but yeah, Keans, I wanted to bring this up, but you have since coming into the TFT scene, you've grinded your way to challenger, you've worked as a coach, but I think like the biggest hurdle that I've seen personally right now is not the coaching, not the challenger rank, but it's Cramsey. And I think getting over the hurdle that is Cramsey is going to be the most difficult hurdle that you've ever come across. So how big do you think your rivalry with Cramsey actually is?
I mean, I didn't even consider him a rival until he asked me to consider him as one.
Okay.
I'm so high up there, like I don't need even, like, why would I look down? He's the one looking.
I mean, did you know? I mean,
yeah, so I said okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are some differences, and actually, right before this podcast, I had an interview with Cramsey where we talked a little bit about how much better he is than you.
Oh no.
So we're actually gonna bring up. This is live. We're gonna bring up the Cramsey interview that we just had. Just finishing the ACL, and yeah, we're gonna live have a nice reaction going here. From your boy Keans for Cramsey. So Keans, if you're in the Discord, man, go ahead and check out my screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna play them both right at the same time so that the stream can watch it. But then as well, everybody can watch it at the same time. So give me 1 second here. We'll get the transition in. All right, you got it up?
I got it.
Okay, we're gonna play them. I'm gonna try to have the seamless transition. Lorence, since I don't have the stream up, make sure that nothing is going terrible. And then in the chat, because it was so fast, I don't have an opportunity to make sure that the sound is accurate or adequate for your ears. So if it is unbelievably loud or unbelievably quiet, please let me know. If it's somewhere in the middle, I did the best I could. So we'll leave it there. But all right, without further ado, we got a quick Cramsey interview for you guys here. Welcome on in, everybody. I am the Real Honeybear here at Aegis Esports. Just finished week 4 of the ACL. I'm here with Cramsey. Cramsey, been a little while since we've talked. How you been, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. I've been doing well. My mic got a little heavier than last time. Not sure where that came from, but I'm doing pretty good. Speaking of ACL, though, you just finished, week 4, moving into the playoffs. How's this set been for you?
The set's been good. I peaked my highest like 4 weeks ago in the first week of the tournament, so I did it wrong. I peaked a little too early, and I'm hoping to make some type of redemption before playoffs, so I can, beat Skip, beat Keans, win it all.
For sure.
For Klee, who believes in me for winning it all for some reason.
For sure. Yeah. Speaking of Keans, you guys have started a little bit of a rivalry. How'd that start? Tell me a little bit about that.
I can't remember exactly why we added each other. I think we were in each other's lobbies and we just started like flaming EU players. And then I think naturally, like when you have that competition, you have to decide, like, it's TFT, you have to decide like who goes 1-2. So then I think, I was like, well, Keans is gonna do well, but I'm gonna do better. And yeah, I think that's basically it. And then we just started randomly flaming each other. He started on the way pinging me whenever he kills me, stuff like that,
Absolutely. Yeah. So give me a little bit of backstory. Why are you better than Keans is? Because obviously you're better than Keans is.
Obviously. Well, I think, total time amounted in Challenger and peak rank is a easy one. He was
Definitely.
a GM dog for a little bit. If we did this interview a little bit earlier, this would sound better because I recently dropped a Challenger today, or dropped a Grandmaster today because I ran down 600 LP in the last week.
Feels good.
But it's okay. I'll be back up there. I'll pass Keans again, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason he hasn't dropped 600 LP is because he's not playing. So.
No, I know he's scared. He doesn't want to lose it, but I'm learning. I have learned infinite knowledge losing all these games.
Yeah, he's scared. Now with that, I mean, does Keans actually even have a chance to beat you? Like at this point, he's scared himself. So.
Right. I would say right now, he has his best chance. I'm not in peak form. He did well today in the tournament. It seems like he understands the meta a little bit, but when they B-patch Soifin and he can't force the same comp every time anymore, then it's a wrap. Then you gotta get creative again, and he's gonna lose.
Absolutely. Now, extremely serious question here. Do you think Keans' hair is holding him back?
Maybe. I've only seen Keans one time. I'm not sure he would look good bald. He's kind of got that like skinny head complexion. I'm not sure it would work for him, but if he wanted to try it, I would support him.
Would he be high tier challenger if he had no hair?
Well, me and GV8 are. And I think
that speaks for itself. I don't think we have to dive in any further.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we leave it at the 2 sample size there. Hey, last question for you. What do you think it's going to take for Keans to finally take you over and beat you in the ACL?
You know, I'm my own worst enemy. I just have to play better, and if I don't, I'll give it to him. He can beat me, but
for sure. Yeah, there's nothing he can do. It's just if you lose, it's on you. And
Right.
yeah, he'd just be below you no matter what. Well, Cramsey, thanks for being in this interview. Anything you want to shout out or any final words for Keans?
No, you know, shout out my NA brother. We're still farming EU players, which feels good. I'm gonna get better, and then we'll be 1-2 at playoffs or the final day. But I'll be 1, of course.
Of course, absolutely. Well, Cramsey, thanks so much. And for everybody else, make sure you check out the YouTube channel for all things ACL. Be in that Discord, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
Peace.
So with the quick Cramsey interview there, a couple of shots fired. Don't know who that interview was. We had a couple shots as well. Keans, any first thoughts on what you just saw there?
I mean, that entire interview was fucking cap. Like, okay, so the thing is, apparently this guy was in the finals for the last ACL too. I didn't even know. Like, this is how far he flew under the radar. Like, I didn't like his name was like nothing to me until like oh shit, like he's trash talking too. Like, all right, let's go. But I didn't even know who he was.
So like diving into a few of those questions here. Do you think your hair is holding you back?
I don't even know how to answer that question, to be honest.
You think you would do better bald?
Do you think you would do better bald? If you were bald, do you think you would dive into the Cramsey and the GV8 category and be able to climb?
Oh fuck no! Why would I purposely go bald and become like even more free?
Well, it's for like the being able to like not be dragged back by the hair. You know, like when you're going like flying up through the LP.
Oh, I mean,
like
okay.
Back a little.
Let me give you like a reference, right? Would you rather be Krillin or would you rather be Goku?
You know what?
All that needs to be said, you know?
Can Krillin in Dragon Ball Super beat base Goku?
I mean, that's just not even a question, man. Of course not.
Actually, I think they have a fight in there. What
do you think would happen if Krillin went Super Saiyan?
Oh, dude, that'd actually be hype.
Would he have hair?
Yeah, would he have hair?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he would probably grow hair, right? It would become like blonde.
Would it?
Yeah,
or would he just have like? Would his head be shinier?
Oh fuck! I don't know.
Would it just be like glowing?
Switch animes. Turn into the Avatar.
Instant arrow. I think we're rolling a little bit down a rabbit hole. But no, in all seriousness, I love the rivalry you guys have. Obviously, it's all in good sport. So keep up the rivalry. Shout out to Cramsey. That was a really fun interview to do with Cramsey. And for anybody who was wondering, that was a 25-pound dumbbell, and I'm still tired.
I was about to say,
I'm still tired.
You were
sweating. I was like trying to put it on my stomach, like, oh, just hold it there for a little bit. Give me a little rest.
Also, it's hard to hear him all the way down in GM. He's demoted.
Roasted.
Got shots fired. Yeah, could he even queue up with you if he wanted to?
Yeah, I don't even know if he can snipe me.
I don't think he can snipe you. Oh, feels sad, man. But, you know, also in that interview, you did get outed a little bit with your soy fen. You know, secret tech there as we kind of transition from the joy and laughter of the intro into some actual meta, some TFT news. And, you know, we did want to talk about in this section, kind of go over a little bit of the high elo comps, what people are playing right now, what we see to be working, and or some comps that we think might actually be pretty strong that we can really, you know, shed some light on. But let's start with this, Keans, because you dominated the ACL today. I don't think you can really say anything, bad about that, but you played a lot of Soy Fen. Tell me a little bit about that. What do you think the secrets are with the Soy Fen right now?
I mean, the thing about Soy Fen, right, so like you have like standard general augments, whatever. It's basically like a top 4. If you have like Knives Edge, CB, insane like S tier augment, you can play for top 2. Like a lot of the comps right now, it's very augment. It's like you're gonna be taking like general augment, playing for like it's like you need to have like weird augments toward aside from like Isa, I guess. But yeah, so like my augment choices, like basically it just put me in the direction of like Soy Fen, like my game.
Mhm.
That's just because of the augments I was on. Like I wasn't hard forcing or anything. Just like it's what I. It was like the best line.
What do you think is
have to
best
do
in Slaughter
one.
Biss for Soy Fen right now? In regards to augments.
Soy Fen CB is really good. Knives Edge, Easton.
Oh.
Can't really remember. But that's like off the top of.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, do you think there's one augment that you just have to get, or do you think it's kind of just dependent on like, okay, if I get, 2 of these or one of these, and get some hits, I think I can run this, pretty much every time.
I mean, it also depends on like what item you're starting on, like whether you're streaking or not. So let's say like you start Rod, like you're almost never playing Soy Fen or whatever, because like you start Rod, it's kind of like a strong early game. You're gonna be streaking. You're gonna lose like pick Brio on a carousel. So it's
Mhm.
like you're almost always like in the AP line, either Fast 9 or Deja. That you start Sword though, your early game is actually quite weak. It's like you do end up getting pick Prio on carousel, so it's like Soy Fen is like the obvious or unless you're like a ton of bows, then you can pick Zaya.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think, having it feels like in this meta right now, Zaya seems super item and possibly even super augment dependent. I think in the Discord somebody even posted a screenshot of Zaya 3 seemed like they had decent items, seemed like they had decent frontline, but actually went 7th with the Zaya 3. So do you feel like that's kind of the name of the game right now is you just have to play off your augments, even if you're hitting unit after unit?
Oh, Zaya specifically, like you almost always have to play from high roll opening. It's like if you're ever rolling on 4-1, level 7 or something like that, like you're just gonna go 6. Like you have to 4-2 or 4-5, like roll on level 8 for Shyvana odds for Zaya. And like you have to have multiple lives to spare. Like you can't be on 1 life. Because you're just gonna there are some matchups like you just lose out. It's like you'll be like the second strongest in lobby, but you'll end up going like 6th or 7th because the guy you match up into is like just gonna kill you if you're on 1 life. Like, oh. But in terms of augments, like yeah, like Zaya specifically, you need like triple combat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're ever taking econ, Zaya's not that good.
Yeah, that's what it
Also,
feels
yeah,
like right
Guild
now.
Emblem is really, really good.
What was
Like,
that?
it doesn't really function that well without like Guild Emblem, I think.
Hmm.
To be honest.
Yeah, do you think there's an optimal guild comp right now, or do you think you can kind of slap Guild Emblem on anybody and move them around? I know in the ACL today we saw a little bit of, I believe we saw some Guild Zaya, we saw some Guild Deja, we saw, I believe there was a Guild Ezreal. I don't think they did very well, but there was a Guild Ezreal, working its way on through, and obviously, the one of the past has been the Guild Shyvana. Was kind of the big one. But do you think there's like a one big way to run guild right now, or do you think that's kind of a splash comp at best?
I mean, if you have Guild Emblem, it's pretty flexible. Depends on what items you're dropped early, whether it's AP or AD. It's AD, it's like Zaya, AP, it's Deja. Or like Deja can sometimes even become like Guild AO Shin. Good. Yeah. Like the tech sometimes is like if you're in a like really bad spot and you need to be like bailed out, on like 3-1 or 4-1, you tech in like 2 guild units, sack 1 round, and then you hope for your augments to be catered towards guild. and like if not, like you can reroll. Like if you know the odds of like the augment are going to be gold, like if it's really high, then like you can tech in guild for 1 round, and the next round when you're offered augments, like it'll be catered towards your board, right? You can get offered like guild emblem.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually had a quick question too. Did you, now that, because there's a couple other comps that are pretty good right now as well, that are like at least playable and good. With Kaisa and Karma, and then even a little bit of Ezreal. What do you think about seeing those sorts of comps come back?
I actually really enjoy it, to be honest. It's like new. It's like I really like having like rerolls in the meta, to be honest. It like kind of shifts that dynamic of how people play the early game. It's like you can't just greed, you know, like fast 8 anymore. Like because if you fast 8, like you're gonna be 2 lives by like 4, right?
Yeah,
So like if
they're hitting at like 6 and they just
they're hitting everyone for like
forward.
infinite. So like you need to play like higher tempo, which I really like because it's like I'm really familiar with that playstyle.
Yeah, I also like that it kind of makes you think about how you're going to play the game a little bit more. Because you can kind of like look at your lobby and be like, oh crap, there's like 3 or 4 rerollers. Like I have to be maybe a little more aggressive with this roll down at levels once I like go to like 6 or 7 or wherever you are. You can't just like sit on your laurels as much. It's kind of what you were referencing, where like you have to play a little more aggressively.
Oh yeah. Also, if you see a bunch of rerollers as well, it's actually a good idea to reroll different comp because like they're taking all like 2 or 1 costs out of the pool for you that you're not using. So basically, like you get to your online faster as well.
Yeah, especially the because if you see like everybody else going the like one of the Dragonmancer comps, like they're taking literally all of the Dragonmancers out of the pool.
Yeah.
So like that's a lot of 1s and 2s like getting like yoinked pretty hard.
Yeah, it's like a free Yone reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking
have you tried
of
a
like,
reroll at all, by the way?
Do you think Yone reroll is actually good? Because it's you have to have scope, don't you?
So there's 2 different variations. There's like scoped weapons, prismatic, and then there's swift shot. I think swift shot's better in the data, but kind of like scope weapons one because you're running like multiple carries like later on like Olaf and stuff. I think it's 4 warrior. So like yeah. I think that one caps out higher, but then like that swift shot, it's like almost guaranteed like top. It's like there's different ways you can like Yone 2 fast 9 or you roll for Yone 3. Yeah. It's really strong though. It's super.
Yeah. I really like boards that let you just because of like the way I like to play the game. I used to do a lot of 1 cost rerolls. But now that I've like seen comps like Kaisa show up in Yone, I really like rolling at 6 because it feels like you have enough units out that you have like a full fleshed out board, where when you have 5, it's a little bit harder depending on like what the actual set can give you, like what their setups are. Like you feel awkward that you can't hold and put out all the units that you want, but at level 6 you kind of are putting out enough units that I don't feel as bad when I'm doing that. But I really like these like 2 cost rerolls like Kaisa that are coming out.
Definitely. And you know, I think on my end, you can also you know, I feel like you can pivot out of a reroll pretty easily right now. You know, get your way to 6, pivot out of it if you see somebody else is contesting, or you're just not hitting. You know, move your way up to one of the verticals, or just switch over to dragons, which seems to be, you know, again, one of the premier comps out there is see dragon, play dragon, get AP, or just run.
Oh wait, did you say pivot? Oh, no, we never pivot.
Never pivot. It's just run it straight down.
Assert dominance.
When do
you either hold hands with them, or
when do you decide the comp you're running? Is it 2-1?
Probably 2-5. I mean 2-1, like 50% of the time, and then like 2-5 the other 50.
2-1. You just have like you have a generator in the back, and you're like, all right, what comp am I running? Or you know, what the 8 ball? What comp am I running? Like, it'd be like, Soypen again.
You like have a little slip of paper.
Oh no, it's not like specific comp, but it's like specific direction. You know.
Gotcha.
Is that terms of like items? Because so like you're picking like, okay, I can build this Infinity Edge, or I can build this something that's more like maybe not a Deathblade because it's like super into something like that, but like you like, oh, I can put this Archangels out because I'm very much so going in this direction of late game AP.
Exactly. And like 3-2 is like the last straw of like to decide what you're playing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm failing. I haven't decided until like 4-5.
Oh. That's
I mean,
not
I
good.
decide what I should have played when I drop out in 8th just before Treasure Dragon. I'm like, shoot, should have played that. What would Coach Keans have done there? Yeah, I mean, now I know. It's just play Siphon. Siphon there. But speaking of which, Coach Keans would have done, I think this is probably a solid spot, unless you guys have anything else to talk about the matter, but slide into weeklies.
Sure.
Good with me.
So if you guys don't know, in the chat here or listen to the podcast on YouTube, so we run at Aegis, we run 2 weeklies every single week. This next week actually is just going to go down to 1 weekly. So if you are looking at the first, or I guess not the first week in November, but last week, of the month here, it's going to just be the NA weekly, which is going to be on Thursday. We will not have a Friday weekly in EU. Just shout out if anybody did not know that. But we typically run 2 a week, and we had some standout players. We had some names coming back as the winners of NA and EU weekly. So far, this is the opportunity I get to butcher the names. Unless Lorence, do you want to butcher the names this week?
No, you can take.
I'll butcher the top 4 this week. So for North America, we got Zelendario ended up getting the win. Which first off, I want to shout out to Zelendario. There seemed to be like a second place player in these weeklies, and hype that they got first. Then we have Shizo got second. Arsonix got third, and Papa Staffa coming in at 4th to round out the top 4 for NA. On the EU side of things, we got Firo, Razlol, B4ZZ, and Draco rounding out the top 4. So from you guys, actually real quick, I do want to shout out the EU qualifier, or the EU weekly. If you played in that or were a spectator of any variety, thank you so much. The EU West server actually crashed right before the finals, and so they had to quickly stop playing on EU. We checked the EU Northeast server. It worked. Half the players didn't have an EU NE account, so they had to create a fresh account to play in the finals. We had to do it all off.
Massive rip.
We had to do it all off site. And so, big shout out to those players for actually coming through, helping me work through it. Lorence was doing whatever the heck he wanted to. He left it with the intern to take care of it. And it was a great time. They had fun and were able to actually get the finals done, even though Riot trolled us and the servers crashed just before the finals, which is a huge rip. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Is that right, Lorence? Or maybe the second time?
It's happened very infrequently, yeah.
Extremely infrequently. But yeah, big shout out to them. But anyways, from that list or any other list in the weeklies, do any players stand out to you guys from NA or EU that you want to give a shout out or kind of talk about real fast?
Let's just hand this over to Keans. Keans, actually, I think there's a special someone that you got to hang out with this last week. Care to tell us about that?
I don't know where this is going either.
You don't?
There's this guy named the Crazy Pete. Every time I'm in the weeklies, man, this guy's just been taking me down. I'm going in, I'm like, all right, I'm going first. It's but then this guy gets in my lobby. Dude, it's I just bought 4. It's he just takes me down. It's and he's always the one to eliminate me, man. It's I don't know, Mortog just hates me or something.
It was the craziest. I remember. So you're the craziest. It was you're this lobby is so free or something.
Oh no!
Usual tagline, and then you went and then immediately got bot forward by Pete in that same lobby. Sorry to call you like that. But that was one of my favorite parts of this entire week.
Yeah, that was the low of my week, I think.
Oh goodness. So is Crazy Pete the new rival? Keans, are you gonna be knocking at his door just begging Pete, you're my rival?
Oh no, that guy's okay, he's been on a tear.
Correct.
But I told him he was subbing in for ACL this week. I was like, dude, you're gonna get humbled. He did, so that's good.
Didn't he top 4 3 games, didn't he?
He did okay.
Did he? Well, he went eighth once.
Two.
Yeah, he went
That's all
eighth
that
once,
matters.
but he top four 3 games, I
It was
think.
4-8, 3-5.
Okay, so he just missed out. So top four twice, but he almost got a hot streak point, which is pretty crazy for the first time. Anyways, we'll talk about ACL in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk in a bit.
But Crazy Pete popping off in the weeklies, taking down Keans. We actually had a funny story last week about the weeklies where our special guest CLE was awarded $2 because Crazy Pete entered the lobby, went 8th to allow for CLE to get his 7th and win $2.
Yeah, so we all know which
Pete.
person he's a bigger friend with.
So,
Not Keans.
so shout out to Crazy Pete. He giveth and he taketh away, but everything is in his hands. So, but
to move on to the actual results, I wanted to do a big quick shout out to the winner of the NA $200 weekly. It was Zilandario, a mainstay that's always around. They're in all of our leagues. Pretty much been here since almost the start. I can't think of too many tournaments that they didn't play in that we've hosted. So it was awesome to see them back and pull out another dub.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool to watch them play. And I think this was, one of those weeklies that was kind of like a perfect storm. I think a lot of the top tier dropped out a little bit earlier. Still had an extremely tough lobby. But one of those to where it was like finally it's Zelendario's time to win. But just huge shout out. They come every single week, play in all the weeklies. They typically play in both NA and EU, and that is a ridiculous amount of time to put into TFT just for the weekly. So yeah, huge shout out to them. One, thanks for stopping by every single time, and two, like GG's for the dub. That's huge.
Have you played against them much, Keans?
Zelendario?
Yeah, in the weeklies.
Like, I don't know how he does it. Pretty sure he's on like 150 plus. I swear, like, I'll look at his board, he'll swap it, and it's like, how is he swapping so fast?
Like on NA.
Yeah.
Guy's cracked. I
And
mean,
like the fact that he consistently like makes it to the finals or whatever, I don't know whether that's like so much TFT being so much based or his knowledge of pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is really impressive. But Keans, you had is before I go on, is there any other players we want to shout out before I make a slight transition here?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to
weeklies?
do a quick shout out to Papa Staffa. Got to see them. I think it was their very first tournament. Don't know if they're in chat or anything, but Papa Staffa, they were the last streamer left standing. So it was really fun to get to watch them. And they even pulled out a 4th in their first tourney. Took away some $20, as they said. A Chipotle money, I believe, is what it was.
I mean, when isn't it Chipotle money? I think that was did Mocha start that? Was it Mocha? That was somebody was like, I need.
Yeah, I think it was Mocha.
I need money for my Uber Eats. It's like they need $18. They got the $18 right from the tournament. This was months ago now, but that's pretty funny. Just overall shout out to everybody. But Keans, I want to kind of move it to you a little bit. So you had, I believe to this day, the greatest weekly run we have ever seen, which was getting first every single match up until the finals. You went, was it second
2-1.
First or first second?
It was pretty sure it was 2-1, right?
Was it 2-1?
You might be checking out his mic.
Okay, I think you're muted right now.
Yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, no, that was really fun to watch. It's good to bring it up again while they're here. I thought that was like once we started noticing, like, wait, this is the top of the lobby every single time. Wait, less sensitive so we can hear more.
Oh wait, how is it?
Yeah, you're there now. You're back now.
That's good.
Okay.
That was again, the most incredible run I have ever seen in the weeklies. Even going back to look at some of them, I didn't see a weekly that was, even touched that. We've never had somebody win 100% straight through. So the fact that you were just one blemish, if you will, if you can call second place a blemish from getting the perfect tournament. I think that was insane. But do you remember that experience and anything kind of stand out to you with that one?
Oh yeah, I mean that one. Basically, I was like hard force rod start because I was like practicing AP line, and like no one was contesting me on carousel like at all. So I was like, okay, like I guess this is free. But also it was like I think the final games I went 2-1, and like getting first and like the last game actually determined the tiebreaker because the other guy also went 1-2. I was like, oh shit, like I fucking won, because like the last tiebreaker.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty hype. And I think going into the weeklies, it's gonna be hard to actually beat anybody. Or sorry, to beat that record almost ever. To go first in every lobby is quite incredible. Just missed it, but still incredibly close. But speaking of incredibly close, we're gonna swing on in to the AML ACL, which we'll start with the AML a little bit. Was actually incredibly close to making it to the playoffs and the top 8 going through. And Keans, I know you are not as affiliated with the AML as you play in the ACL. But having said that, for Lorence or Keans, looking at the AML currently, is there anybody you're shocked who didn't make it going into the playoffs for next week?
I thought that I was really hoping that $1.50 Slice was going to make it. Didn't quite end up pulling it out at the end of the day. Just didn't quite make it happen with their week 4, but they had pretty consistent week 1, 2, and 3s. I was hoping they would pull it out. That was one thing that it was fun watching their stream. As I've said it a couple times. As you were on the broadcast and you got to see it. I was in their chat when I saw that you were on them, and I was like spending the channel points to flip them every single time. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that, and I think we were calling it on the broadcast as well. Because it was kind of funny. She was winning when straight up. You flip her upside down, instantly started losing. And we're like, oh, we gotta figure this out.
Get it back.
She's gotta be upright. Like, we gotta get these dubs. Flip her back upright. I'm big fan of $1.50 Slice, big fan of the stream. So really sad to see them go. I think I've shouted this person out every single time. I'm sad to watch Batman go. I really like watching Batman. I think they're a phenomenal player. This set was not their set. They were very adamant. They just go, don't like dragons. Which I think a lot of people kind of share that of like, this set is just infuriating. If you're not enjoying this set, you might really not be enjoying the set. So kind of sad to see them go.
They try new stuff all the time, and sometimes it's just not your set. Like, this one isn't quite mine either, but hopefully that set 8 is pretty good too.
Very clear. True. Keans, you got anybody? Or did you see anybody that you see anyone who made it that you kind of didn't think they were actually going to make it into the playoffs?
I mean, like you said, I'm kind of sad that like Batman didn't make it. I tuned into his stream like once or twice. He was playing some like bumping music. I was rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's very like he shows his emotions like a lot when he plays, which is like
sleeve.
Yep.
Yeah, he's very like into it. So I like that a lot. Sad to see he didn't make it, but like I'm really surprised. I thought like Grape for sure was taking the #1 spot. So when like that other guy, the shy guy, took over, I was like really surprised. Like I would have bet money that Grape was like guaranteed first, like after the first week or 1st 2 weeks.
I mean, you look at those points, like by far the highest, like each week, I believe, or not by far, but like they by far the highest point total for sure.
Yeah,
it's
quite ridiculous.
Too, so.
Yeah, he was actually just like 1-1-1-1-1. So I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, so for anybody who's not, looking at the sheet, basically we have the point system. It's 1 through 8. So 8th gets 1, 1st gets 8, and so on and so forth. But it turns out the shy guy ended up the week with 113 points, and next to that was Grape, who was dominating at first, but ended up coming out with 108 points at the end. The shy guy actually having one of the best weeks every single week. So going
It was
20,
top
what
for,
was
like,
it?
every single time.
Yeah, 26, 26, 28, and 27 points respectively for each week.
Mhm.
That is incredible. Getting high 20s every week is incredibly difficult. And so, yeah, just an incredible game, from them. Incredible 4 weeks. Probably our most consistent player that we have, and really good stuff shown from them.
Yeah, going off of that, I mean, maybe it's even Shy Guy or Grape, but Keans, do you see like any of them like moving up and trying to like contest you over an ACL?
Like in terms of AML?
Yeah,
like
so anybody
the
from
players that are at the
AML.
top. Yeah, the players that
I
are
remember
maybe at the
Jesus
top.
Timo. He was in like the Invitational last set as like
Mhm.
a master player, which is like really impressive, I thought. So I'm glad to see he's like climbing up to the top of the standings. My boy Pete's up there.
Yep.
Yeah, just those two I'm really familiar with.
Definitely. I mean, I know you didn't get to see, the Shy Guy or the Grape that much. Or Grape, excuse me.
Grape.
But do you think either one of those players might find their way to the ACL next set and think they can, possibly make some waves, maybe even make it to playoffs?
If the cutoff is still like GM plus, like for sure. But I'm not really sure how you guys are going to be doing it next set, because I think you guys said something about like having lower leagues and higher leagues or whatever. So
You might be splitting it up, but it's just like, I guess hypothetically, like
You could add the
it is right
spoilers,
now.
Canes.
Yeah.
what? You guys talked about it.
We talked about it.
I'm
He's
just
kidding.
What the fuck?
Stop
going,
spoiling
like-
stuff, man. No.
We would never. I mean, even going like transferring it over into ACL, then because like we saw Purple Pouring make that jump up, and they actually that'll be my. I know we're technically going who's shocked that we didn't make it, but I'm going to go right into who I'm happy to see make it. Purple Pouring actually made it there into the playoffs, and like after moving up from AMO, like that's pretty cool to see. Like like somebody who was consistently in the lower tiered league, and then they make it up over here to the Champion League, and they make it right into playoffs, showing that they can hang. Not even like, oh, it was close. It was like they actually were feasibly going to make top 8 if they had like some really good closing weeks.
They're 5 points away from a bye.
Wait, really? It was that close?
It was that close. 5 points away, and Purple Pouring makes it into the top 8, which is absolutely insane. So basically, if they take a 6th place finish and make it a first, just one game, one out of the, however many games we play. Somebody with math can tell me how many actually play 4 weeks, 16 games. So one of those games, out of the 16, they bump it up a little bit, and they're actually in playoffs. And this is a Masters player that is actually just very, very good at the game and knows how to play, in this tournament type format, which is, some would say completely different than it is actually playing on ladder. And they were actually able to make it work, and it's really cool that they were they finished 13th on the list, and beat out one of my favorite players and a streamer that I enjoy watching, Chandler, who is a challenger player, and just tipped them out. And so that's really impressive. But Keans, anybody standing out to you here?
No, that's it for AML.
Or this is going into ACL.
Oh, are we going into ACL now?
Yeah, we're in ACL.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Honestly,
We're moving quick, Keans.
okay.
Pop, pop, pop.
Okay, to be honest, I don't really know like 75% of the people playing in ACL. Like they're just like, okay. There's this thing like that Double Lift does where
Nobody.
he like before he used to like take off the name tags like when he played like competitive games against like scrims or whatever. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Like I don't really look at the names. I just play my game, whatever. But like some people, they just like don't even give an impression. It's like they're just so free,
Oof.
Who's Double
Gotta
Lift?
Not saying that
I would say like you should point out who like it is that doesn't make an impression, but I guess you wouldn't remember because
yeah, exactly. I don't even know who they are.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Like they can't yeah.
I had a quick question actually. I want to segue into that with after having played in so many ACL sets, does it feel like that's prepared you for like trying to play at the world stage a little more? Kind of like how Purple, like they've played so many sets and in Marauder League, and then they move up here to the Champion League and they perform like that. And I'm pretty sure that has something to do with it. Does it feel like that's actually something that's true?
I mean, the environment in like competitive games like this compared to ladder, it's like it's totally different, to be honest. Like, I don't know if it's me, like I just switch my mindset or whatever, but like I feel like yeah, it does like prepare you for the world stage, I guess, in terms of like mindset though, like switching
Mhm.
gears. Like it's on like solo queue, sometimes you can just like autopilot, relax, whatever. But like these competitive games, like I'm actually thinking through everything, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking that like when you compare it to ladder, like my way of comparing it is you kind of have to like shut down. You can shut down sometimes. You're like, oh, that was a bad eighth. Time to kind of move along, I guess, and like I'm gonna go get my lunch or something like that. You can kind of just step away for a second. But when you're in these like sort of environments, being able to like have yourself uh, prepped from doing it so many times, where like you play the 4 games or you play the 6 games in playoffs, and you must do it, kind of helps prepare you for something like you did end up participating in Dragon Cup. Did it feel like that sort of environment was relatively the same when you were playing in there?
It was actually a bit different because it was like my first major tournament. I
Mm.
was really nervous, to be honest. So it's like my swapping and all that stuff, like it just got really messy. And it's like, yeah, it was not a good time, to be honest. But like I'm more familiar with like the Aegis League and whatnot. And honestly, it's like I don't know a good analogy, but like if you go eighth, like it's easier to shake off. Like on ladder, if I go eighth, like, oh, I'm ready to fucking tilt queue, you know? But like if I'm playing in like this league, I go eighth, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's like it's just one game, like I got 3 more or I got 5 more,
Yeah,
you know?
because you got like 15 more to go in the regular season, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely. Do you feel like you actually get more stress playing solo queue then?
Oh, 100%. Like
Crazy.
it's so easy to run it down.
Oh, I agree. No, I mean like that's what I kind of do is like I like especially once I get that one high of like, oh, I go second after like going like eighth, seventh, and I'm like second. I'm like, I'm getting the LP back. I got it. It's mine. And then I go and TQ up again, and I go eighth again.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. I'm still tilted. It's just funny to think
Mhm.
about.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to pull a Cramsey, am I right?
Exactly.
Hashtag Team Cramsey out here.
Yeah, actually, I do have to point out one thing that was pretty funny this week. Hopefully you're in chat still, Cramsey. So when you were in the when you went, when you were in the lobby with Keans, you went bot 4 both times, and he went top 2 both times, and then you move out of his lobby, and suddenly you top 4 both times.
Interesting.
How did that feel on the giving end, or did you just not even notice, Keans?
Listen,
Oh, I mean, like his presence was like not even there in my games. Like he was actually so free.
Oof.
I'm 100% hashtag Team Cramsey over here. Sorry, Keans. I'm on the Cramsey hype train. So we'll see you in playoffs. Sorry, Keans. We'll see.
I mean, this guy, he transitioned to like a 2-star Dragonmancer AO Shin, and then he same-sided against my Shioyu. So, I mean,
Wait.
nothing.
I'm gonna teach him the secret strats of the Ezreal reroll, and we're gonna show you what's up.
Okay.
But transitioning out of there to a little bit more of a fun side of things. We have the completely made up, the completely fake, the completely do not matter whatsoever Aegis Awards. I need like a, the Aegis Awards, which we give out every single week. We're going to give out the high roll and the low roll of the week for the 3 of us. And then we're also going to give our favorite streamer of the week, which is always a fun one for me. But starting off, Lorence, you got a high roll and a low roll of the week.
I'm almost guessing that one of you may or may not also have this as their high roll. But I did see that Skip absolutely destroyed this week. They went 8, whereas in first, second in their last week, just to kind of like solidify that like you guys need to kind of watch out for me, and they keep that top spot in the league. That was pretty impressive. Like they are actually a full 11 points above somebody else that we know here, Keans.
Oh no.
We'll leave it at that. We'll do high rolls first. Keans, do you have a high roll?
Oh yeah, because I don't know if you guys like follow the LCQ or not, but like this Appies guy, like he went 8-8 his first 2 games, but then like his next 4 games, like he just went like fucking beast. He went like 3-5-2-1 or something to qualify to day 2. Like After going 8-8, like that's impressive. I would have been checked out.
No, I was able to watch that actually on the last couple games. That was extremely impressive. It was one of the most hype things that I've seen in terms of TFT. Like it was a really special moment for me where like I got to actually like it's somebody I kind of know. I'm like super good friends with him, but I'm like an acquaintance. So getting to watch him kind of like watch him make that and see how elated he was that he was pushing that hard and made it to that next day. That was super cool to see. I agree. That was a pretty good. That's my my 1B for my high roll as well, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that was actually, on my list as well. Being, a spicy fanboy, if you will. I love his streams. I think he, is a really good player for the scene. From obviously what he does in streams, but his gameplay is insane. And I don't think I would have been able to do the same thing he did. Like you said, Keans, if I go 8-8, I am checked out. I'm done. Like, get me out of here. I don't want to play the next game. I'm clocked out. But my high roll of the week is actually going to be Crazy Pete for subbing in for the ACL. This is the first time playing in the ACL and subbing in and actually having a stellar performance there. For what was expected of them, right? Someone who's been playing in the AML has never had a chance to push up, hit Grandmaster for the very first time this year, and played against some of the best players in the world. He was even in Skip's lobby, ended up getting a third in that lobby, and that was pretty freaking cool. They were able to do it. So Crazy Pete, my high roll of the week. That was awesome to watch. Like if they would have went 8-8-8-8-8, right on through, that would have stunk, but they didn't. They hung in there and played some good TFT.
Agreed.
So Lorence, you got your low roll?
My low roll of the week is the polarizing, the one, the only Sacred Norris missing out on a bye by 1 point. That's a big, feels bad. And you know how that happened? How that happened? Roxy, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, ended up getting a first in their last lobby of the week and pulled out that extra point. So like if they even went, I don't know if they won the tiebreaker or not, but if they went second or third, they would have gone and been 9th seed, and Norris would have taken that 8th seed and finally gotten a bye. That was like a big oof. But I mean, he's still in playoffs, still a good player. I believe they'll make it, but I've got a small soft spot. I know he's sometimes a little polarizing, but I talk about him a lot. So
just a quick note though, like last set for ACL, he made it into the playoffs by 1 point, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like karma.
Oh yeah, I paid it forward, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, he paid it forward.
Yeah, he lost his 1 point this time for last set.
Wait, is it a paid it backward kind of thing?
Paid it backward.
Paid it back. Yeah, whatever.
Keans, you got a low roll? You got anybody you're thinking of for the low roll there?
Low roll. Probably just this new patch, man. Like, I was expecting something fresh, and like, because the meta was so stale last patch, I was like, oh yeah, like finally a new patch, something to be excited for. Like you queue into the game, it's like 3 Kaisa players, and it's like, yeah, they're all going top 3 as well.
For sure. Yeah, my low roll is actually a tough one for me. My low roll is gonna be Mocha. I'm a Mocha fan, and so I'm sad to see they didn't make playoffs. They had a rough ACL this entire time, and so it was kind of determined that they probably wouldn't make it even coming into this week. But as a Mocha fan, really wanted them to do well. Love getting to watch them play. Sad that they're not gonna make it through, and that would be my low roll, just because I'm sad I don't get to watch Mocha push through into the playoffs. But,
Agreed.
Yeah.
If he did do so badly like the first week, like he makes it, I think, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think he had a pretty. Let me see. Let me double check. I think he had a few.
Don't look. Don't look.
Don't look.
Yeah.
Don't call him out like this.
But
we just
overall, it's one of those things. It's like, man, I love watching Mocha play. When he's on, and so yeah, just sad to see him go. But big Mocha fan, hoping they crush it in set 8. But that moves us on to if anybody in the chat has any questions for us Bring them on forward. Let us know what you got. And Lorence was in charge of pulling questions. Lorence, do we get any questions for us?
I think there weren't too many this time. However, there was one really good one. I believe it was Cramsey that said, "This guy coaches?" ? I think that was probably the only one.
Keans,
You should
I
become
think
my
that one
student.
was at you. Do you got a response to that one? Got an answer?
I mean, yeah, I'll link you my details later, Cramsey. You can become my student.
He's got to get out of Grandmaster somehow. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll coach you to Challenger, buddy.
That's why, Lawrence. Do we have anything else, or are we sliding on into the outro there?
I did have one more little thing that I could pop up. Again, if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to keep on talking about anything. There were a couple really good questions last week about like just the tournaments and the structures and like the future things that are coming up. I loved answering those. So if anyone's got that, feel free to toss that into there. However, I did see that somebody said that what would happen with Krillin when he gets his Super Saiyan is that his eyebrows would change color. I believe that was Ramen Blitz.
Wait, I don't want to go too far. I don't think Krillin has eyebrows.
Oh,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
No, he does. Okay, he does have eyebrows.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
no
like,
shot.
yeah,
he
yeah.
has really defined eyebrows. Actually, I was like,
Okay, yeah,
what
they're
did you
huge.
say?
All right, second, wait, does he are we sure Krillin's got eyebrows?
Are you sure about that?
All right, no, I'm trolling. Eyebrows change from black to yellow. No, I see that.
I did actually see something that was a really good question. You might have answered it already. Keans, would you consider wearing cat ears when you stream? I'll add in. He probably thinks that it would be uwu.
I don't
as
even
they say.
know how you would think to ask me that, but the answer is yes.
You're like
Anything for the
darn
content,
tootin'.
you know.
Exactly.
I'm a
yeah. So
entertainer.
guys, basically next time Keen streams, make sure you pop in there. He will have a GoFundMe set up for cat ears, and yeah, you can donate to Keens to get the cat ears on live broadcast. What color cat ears are we gonna go? I'm personally thinking get the whole headset, get the pink cat ear headset.
Pink, probably not. Maybe white or black.
I like the white. The white would be nice.
Yeah,
Pop.
I'm down to get like paws and like whiskers and stuff. The
How
whole
would you type?
cosplay. Oh, dude, everyone is so free. Like I don't need to like press anything on my keyboard.
Razer, not a sponsor, but Razer has a line of cat ear headsets.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to use that coaching money to buy some.
Yeah, I use that
It's a
coaching
return on
money.
your investment, right?
Yes.
You're
So
gonna
my new
please,
student Cramsey.
need to get more coaching money from.
please sign up for coaching with Keens, so that we can get this man a headset with some cat ears on it. Because that's exactly what we need. But anyways, if we don't have any other questions, we're gonna slide on in to the outro there. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. Do want to give a big shout out to the stream, or shout out for our sponsor. Excuse me. If you guys did not know, this entire stream, the entire podcast was sponsored of cat ears for Keens. So big shout out to them. Make sure you guys support the cat ears for Keens. A fundraiser, if you will. It's all in Keens' Twitch channel. But just big shout out to them. Thank you for everybody in Twitch. Thank you for everybody in the chat. All the podcast listeners, if you're on YouTube, really thank you so much for your support. We're trying to build the brand here, as well just give you guys some good content. But without further ado, Keens, got anything you want to shout out, man?
Not really. You can follow my Twitch or Twitter, Keans TFT. That's all I have so far.
Big Pog.
Keens
Not gonna make a
TFT.
YouTube.
Oh, maybe shout out to the Discords that I hang out in, Windfall Tactics and the Aegis Esports Discord.
Big Pog.
Yours truly on the podcast.
For sure. Lawrence, anything you want to shout out?
No, I would just like to also shout out everybody interacting in chat. Again, this is I love doing this stuff. Sometimes my resting deadpan face shows otherwise, but I actually really love doing this stuff and I get really passionate about it. So I love seeing people come out and have a good time hanging out for TFT. Always really good to see.
For sure. We actually cannot put any of this stuff on without you guys. So thanks for supporting us. Thanks for supporting all thing Aegis. We do want to keep bringing you guys the top tier quality for TFT and everything we do. If you guys didn't know, we are also in a lot of other esports as well. But thanks again. We'll be live every single Sunday after the ACL. We're going to try to be right around 8 o'clock EST, sometime in that area. But we'll let you guys know in the Discord. This has been the Aegis Rolldown podcast. You can check us out on YouTube as well. And again, thanks for everybody watching. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.